Welcome, my friends of the interwebs, and welcome back to part 2 of Scotty D talking all kinds of smack about me. Take it, Scotty.
What's going on, folks? Back, still talking about Rich getting the other side of the camera, having a little bit of fun. Hope y'all are enjoying. What other questions you got there, Rich? We covered. Let's see, we've covered the. You don't want people watching you while you're taking a dump.
No, I don't think anybody does, because there's always that special person that's got that dump fetish.
There are people out there.
They have dump fetishes. Well, you were just saying there's a dude on YouTube that likes to take videos.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine today there's still no doors on the stalls and you got people with cameras?
How is that even legal?
I don't know. It's shameful.
For all the things.
But you know what made me mad about that? The chicks' bathrooms, they had doors on their stalls.
Man.
Isn't
it always that way? Women got it made.
They do. It's a woman's world, man. It's a woman's world, dude. Yeah. So let's talk about your cars, man. Throughout high school, I already told me you started out with a '79 10th anniversary Silver Edition Trans Am.
I did.
You're a car nut. What was your second car?
My second car was '84 Z28 in 1984.
'84 Z28 in 1984. Well, what happened to the first car?
All right. The first, man, your 15 and a half, I buy this Trans Am. It had been bumped on the front.
Bump my ass. I've heard you tell that story. It was wrecked.
I'm telling you now, it wasn't. Okay, let me tell another. I'm gonna tell a quick story on me, a riding story. Yeah. I'm out, like Richard told you, I've been saving for a car since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper. I've been working my butt off trying to get money together. That's my dad, that's what he told me I'd want. He was right. But anyways, I'd go to look at a car, and one of the cars I look at is a Pontiac GTO Judge. And we find one, but it's blue. It's a Phase 4, it's got like 70,000 miles on it. It needs interior and paint, but it's blue. And I don't want blue. I want an orange one.
You should have got that car.
That's the story. There's an orange one that sold a couple years ago for $1 million. So,
What do you think the blue one would have sold for?
Hard telling. See, the blue ones were even rarer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? There's a lot less blue ones than the orange ones.
Wow.
So, yeah, no. So then, anyways, we're sitting at a light, and we're still discussing this. And Werner's Corners, up here at Werner's Corners. And
which, if for those of you who do not know, is just a major intersection close to where Scott and I grew up.
In Toledo.
So
anyways, there's this tow truck that comes through, and it's got this Trans Am hooked to the back of it with the front corner bumped on it, or totaled as Voodoo wants to.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was a wreck.
We chased the car down, and sure enough, the insurance company had totaled it. And we bought it, and we put the car together. So by the time I was 16, I had a '79 Trans Am, and that would have probably been in like '82, '83.
Yeah.
And that was the car to have at the time.
Oh, it was badass.
And
for a couple, not stuff on these guys, but for a couple of kids as literally dirt freaking poor as Scott and I, to be able to tool around in a hot car like that was huge for us.
I always said it was cars, clothes, and a house. Because everybody's going to see the clothes you're wearing. Most people are probably going to see the car you're driving. Very few people are ever going to get to the house. Yeah. And Rich and I had that covered too. All right? Because if you asked us where we lived, we'd be glad to show you. Of course, we could never get in because parents were out of town.
Scott and I would pick up these chicks, hot chicks, in this ride of his, and then we'd be like, yeah, we'll run over to our house. We'd run up to this place called Ottawa Hills in Toledo, which is where all the rich folk lived. And there'd be, back then, these were $500,000 houses. And you'd be like, yeah, we get in, but, the alarm's set, mom and dad aren't gone. We're not allowed to have people over when they're not home now. And we'd be in this hot car, and we'd be showing them our hot house, and, hoping, as teenage boys will hope, that all works out in the end for us. And sometimes it actually did.
Yeah, well, we had figured out at a young age that, it
yeah, be easy on my female subs now. All women are virtuous and don't look at men for their monetary things.
I don't think you'll find two bigger fans of the female gender out there.
That's a fact.
Mr. Voodoo.
That's a fact.
We support y'all.
But there are some women that like material things, and Scott and I,
that can be persuaded.
That Scott and I prayed on.
That can be.
Although we didn't have a pot to piss in.
That's it. It was a game to us.
Yeah.
We had nothing to lose because. We had nothing to lose.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
No,
so,
yeah.
I mean, for two broke kids to go out and be able to and you got to understand now, we didn't grow up in a broke neighborhood. Our parents were not.
My question for you, Scott, just curious. I want the people in on this. Our neighborhood was actually pretty solidly middle class.
Yeah.
Most of the housing in our neighborhood, 90% of the housing in our neighborhood, were actually pretty nice houses.
That's right.
How in that neighborhood did our parents manage to find the only 2 freaking shacks that should have been condemned?
I agree with you. I agree. But the thing about it is they were able to put us in.
Here's the thing, that you're right. No,
people who had it.
that's the important thing, and I bless my mom and your mom for that too, is that we got to go to a school that back then at least was above our station in life.
That's right.
Literally. And because we were around those types of people, we weren't out stealing cars or doing the shit that we would have done.
We were doing less of it. We were doing a little less of it.
Hey, now.
No, the thing is besomehow we had to figure out how to at least to put on the presents that
Right.
we belonged.
Right.
I mean, being cool wasn't enough. We went to a school of 3,000. There was a lot of cool kids.
There was a lot of cool kids. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were lucky. And I'll tell you another thing. I was really blessed in that my dad had the connections to the hot rods and the cars and was
Right.
able to take what little money I was able to make.
Right,
and
it put
turn
you in
into
so
a
nice.
very
Now that second car, I guess we got off the beaten path here.
Right.
The second car was a 84Z.
84Z. Now, here's the thing about that. I'll be honest with you. That car had been. We were putting stolen and recovered cars together back then. And
Well, we weren't stealing the cars.
No, I was going to explain. We were buying the cars from the insurance company once
They were recovered.
They had been recovered. And then we were buying parts. No, I was going to say the parts. I was going to say we were buying parts back or up in an area north of this area.
Detroit.
And we would go up there and be able to buy, a lot of the parts to put the cars back together. And we put them back together right.
And they looked perfect.
They look better than people. We had people standing in line to buy them for us.
Yeah.
Because you could save a little money, and they were always
Yeah,
nice
they were
for
right.
what
They
you
were
gonna
straight.
do.
They were good drivers, yeah.
So, anyways, we had bought this car, but the car only had 26 miles on it. It had been stolen from the dealership, and I still had full warranty on it and everything. And we put the car back together, and I was short a little bit of money to be able to finish that car up. And I went into the Army in '84.
Yeah, right after you got out of high school.
Right.
Yeah.
So the story on that car is that it's about 2 weeks before I'm going into the Army, and my dad's got to go to Detroit for something, and he asked if he can take my car. Can I borrow the Z? I said, no, And he said, well, you're going to be at work all day. I worked at Bischoff's over here, and he said, you're going to be at work all day. He said, in the time that you have to be at work, he said, I'll be able to drive to Detroit, come back, you'll never miss your car, I'll have it there for you when you get off of work, everything will be good. Dad, I'm going to the Army. I just like to have it in front of me. I like to be able to look out the window at the store and see it. Just understand. Please don't take it.
All right.
It won't hurt you. I'm taking it. All right. So I go to work that day, and I get off of work, and I'm standing out there, no Dad. Well, he shows up about 20 minutes late, and he's not in my car. So I get in the car.
Never a good sign.
No, it wasn't. I got in the car. We drive home. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the house. He doesn't say 2 words. As we're turning on to the road to my house, he says, I had an accident. What he says is, I'm going to pull up to the house, I'm going to drop you off, and then I'm going to go down to Frank's house. He said, when you cool off, he said, give me a call, we'll come back and talk about this. Yeah. And just then, perfect timing, the car rolled up to the edge of the driveway, and I saw my car.
Wow.
He had been going to Detroit that day. He'd taken my car and gone to Detroit that day, and was following behind a semi-truck, and it was wintertime, it was cold, the roads were a little slick. But he's found behind a semi-truck, and the semi-truck switched lanes. And the reason the semi-truck switched lanes was because there was a car broke down in the emergency lane, but wasn't all the way off the interstate. It was about 18 inches still on the interstate. So Dad said that he had hit the brakes, locked the car up, hit a patch of ice. Luckily, he hit a patch of ice that pitched the car sideways, and he hit that parked car sideways at 60 miles an hour.
Damn.
It took the passenger seat of that Z28 and pushed it over into the driver's seat. It bent that car, but somehow it would still run. So the insurance company wanted to total it, and there's reasons that we didn't want it totaled. And
Statute of limitations has not ran out on that.
I'm just saying there's reason that we didn't want it totaled. And so anyways, we ended up getting the car back from the insurance company. I went to the Army. While I was in the Army, Dad fixed the car, put it back together for me. I had no idea what he was doing.
All right, hang on, Scott. We'll have to come back for part 3. I actually want to hear this. It's been a long time since I've heard it. Anyway, check Scotty D out, link below. And if you like what we're doing, come back. See ya.